Welcome. In this video, we're going to walk through how to create an age child balance report that you can run whenever you want to run it. So first, we're going to start by going into the F menu, AR Management, and then number 5, AR Standard Reports, letter B, Accounting, and then number 1, Age Child Balance, or number 2, Detailed Age Child Balance, depending on what you want to see. Now, the difference between the two is that Age Child Balance gives you a single row, basically, per account, what their 60, 90, 120 current balance are, and a couple of other pieces of information per account. The detailed age child balance is going to give you a listing of all of the tickets, especially for open item accounts, that make up their current value. So of course, the detailed age child balance is going to be much longer. Many people like to run that like at end of year, but you can use either one that you want interchangeably. They will give you the same information when it comes to balances. So I'm going to press the Enter key to go into the age trial balance, and that of course is a listing of what each customer currently owes you. I'm going to type in my clerk code. Now, I can minimize the information that's being presented to me if I feel I need to. So the first one is maybe I want to do an account number range. Now, considering the fact that most of our customers don't use any kind of plan when laying out account numbers, you're probably never going to use the start and stop, but of course we give it to you we offer that to you if you want to use it. The next is, do you want to look at zero balance accounts? Once a year, this is absolutely something that you want to print out. You want to print out absolutely every customer that you have and what their current balance status is. So select zero balance accounts. In that particular instance, you would want to say yes. Other than that, I'm going to leave this blank, but your compare option, one opportunity for you might be to give each of your salesmen a copy of what their current customers owe so that maybe they can go after them to collect some information, and that's where you would use this compare option. This compare option is not looking at invoices, it's not looking at amounts of money. Actually, that's a lie. You could use this to run a compare option of where someone's current balance or to-date balance is extremely high. Maybe it exceeds $10,000, so you could use it that way. But this isn't looking at specific tickets or specific parts. It is simply looking at current balances for your customers. And so the compare options are going to be city, state, salesman, value of their to-date balance, and so on, or whether they owe you in older time periods. I'm going to press the home to return key to get back to the main screen. And I'm going to go top down through the buttons on the right. Report options. We default it to aged receivable summary. You can call it anything you want. I would suggest if you make one specifically for you, maybe it contains special information, or again, if it's for salesperson, that you put that in the title, because otherwise you're going to have 100 reports that are all called aged receivable summary. Print options. We default it to print to the screen, and then we also default it to show the account number, the to-date balance, aging 1, which is your 0 to 30, aging 2, 3, 4, over aging 4, and then the DF $ is any defective or deferred dollars, that would print out on that. Some people choose to include that, some people do not. I'm going to take that off my screen. Now you'll notice in the center, totals only. Do you want to see just the totals per account, or do you want to see all of this information? Basically, totals only is going to give you what your total balance is the customers owe you without splitting it up per customer. Excuse me. Would you like to print your last service charge for open item accounts? Do you want to look at extended captions, aka English words? And then do you want to spread out the detail line spacing? Sometimes people do. I'm going to press the home key. Now, really, I'm not going to change anything else here, but you could if you wanted to. In the calculation options, do you want to include deferred dollars in the to-date balance? That's up to you. Do you want to age by days? And that's for weekly age child balance reports that might go with some weekly statements you're going to send. And then date to use for aging. Do you want to use the original ticket date or do you want to use the due date? Now, most of our customers, the original date and the due date are the same, so this would not apply to you. If it does apply to you, you would know that. I'm going to press the home key. Oops, original, home. And then last, the sorting. Do you want to sort it by anything other than the account number? Some people want to sort by the account name, and that is ML1, so you would use that here. Otherwise, you can leave this. So I'm going to hit the F10 key to save this. I'm going to call it Aged Trial Balance J, Aged Trial Balance, and I'm going to put my name, just so that I know that this was the one that I created for myself. That doesn't print anywhere, and it doesn't mean anything to anybody but you. I'm going to hit the Enter key, and now it's going to go through and it's going to calculate for me the account number, my to-date balance, 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90, and so on. That is all that this report is showing me. As I said, if you wanted to use the detail, you could use the other one. Now, this information can be scheduled to run at any time, or you can come in and run it if you choose to on any schedule that you want. Notice that the grand totals are at the bottom. I don't have a lot of data in the system that I'm dealing with, so I don't have a long report. You may have a much longer report. You can also email this to anyone, or you can save it to a file. Now, this is another location where, as their balances change, we don't go back and run an aged receivable report, perhaps, what the aged receivable was at the end of 2016. So if you want that information, make sure to run it and save it to a file, run it to an email, or print it out on paper. As long as you go through a spooler, we'll have a definite copy of it. Otherwise, you just have it on paper. But if you need to look at previous data, you're going to want to make sure that you print that to something other than just the screen, because we don't go back and recreate this information. If you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask us. We're at 800-829-4722. Otherwise, you can email us at sbctraining@autolog.com. Thank you so much.